Chosen one. Heaven has interrupted your exhaustion. The scroll of your striving has been read in full, and heaven whispers now, enough. You have done all you could. You've reached the end of your own strength, and that's exactly where God begins his. Every sleepless night, every whispered prayer, every moment you thought went unnoticed has been heard in heaven's courts. This is not coincidence. This is divine intervention. Heaven has stepped into your story. You have carried burdens far heavier than what others would even dare to touch. You've smiled while breaking inside, encouraged others while secretly asking, "Who will strengthen me?" But now, listen carefully. Heaven says, put it down. The weight you've been carrying was never meant to be yours forever. You've proven faithful in the storm, and heaven has seen your endurance. You were never weak for wanting rest. You were simply reaching the place where God takes over. The voice of the Lord is whispering even now, stop fighting battles that belong to me. The war is no longer yours to wage in your own power. Your season of striving ends here, and your season of surrender begins when heaven says, you've done enough. It isn't a rebuke, it's a release. It's God's way of saying, now watch me do what you cannot. Lon, you may not see it yet, but the shift is already in motion. Heaven is reordering your path, realigning your destiny. Where you once saw only closed doors, favor will swing them open. Where you were met with rejection, divine redirection was taking shape. You were not abandoned. You were being positioned. The very silence you feared was actually God's preparation. Heaven was never ignoring you. Heaven was working behind the veil. Chosen one. This message found you for a reason. Heaven paused everything to reach you in this exact moment. Not by the algorithm, not by coincidence, but by divine orchestration. Every sound you hear now carries the echo of heaven's timing. You fought long enough, cried long enough, and questioned long enough. Heaven says, now let me carry what you cannot. Oh, as the world grows louder, God is drawing you into stillness. He's teaching you that your rest is an act of faith. To rest in His promise is to declare, I trust that heaven has already gone before me. The same God who raised you out of the pit will now lift the weight from your shoulders. This is the moment where surrender becomes your greatest weapon. You're not losing control, you're placing it into better hands. You've been in survival mode for too long. But heaven doesn't call you to survive, it calls you to reign. You are not here to barely make it through. You are here to walk in divine confidence, knowing that the King of Heaven is fighting for you. When God says, you've done enough, He's inviting you to witness His strength unfold in your weakness. The miracle doesn't begin when you're full of energy, it begins when you finally let go. Beloved, feel the shift. Even now, your heart begins to calm, your breath deepens. The presence of God is near, closer than the storm, stronger than the fear. You are not forsaken. Heaven is rewriting your story, even as you listen. The same hands that sculpted galaxies are now holding your tomorrow. The war within you is ending because the one who called you is taking command. And now, heaven speaks. Stop measuring your worth by your work. Stop counting victories by what you can control. What's coming next is not earned by effort, but received by grace. You are walking into a divine exchange, your exhaustion for His power, your case for His peace, your striving for His strength. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, Chapter 3, verse 19, the sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the deer's. He enables me to tread on the heights. Let those words settle in your spirit. You are being lifted. You are being restored. The mountain that once intimidated you will soon become your platform. Heaven is moving. And this time, you won't need to push. Just trust. If this word resonates within you, if something in your spirit knows this was meant for you, then take a moment, like, share, and subscribe to stay under this divine flow. Type the prophetic number 777 inches the comments as a sign that you receive heaven's takeover in your life. This is not just another message, it is the beginning of a miracle. Heaven has spoken. You've done enough. Now, let me take over. You have carried more than most. Chosen one. The weight of worlds has rested on your shoulders while you smiled as though it were light as air. No one saw how often you fought invisible battles in silence, how often you rose after breaking, wiping away tears before anyone noticed. Heaven has watched every moment. Every time you chose love over bitterness. Every time you forgave when it would have been easier to harden. Heaven took note. You have carried not just your own pain but also the burdens of others. Like an intercessor born from fire, you've walked through storms meant to sink ships, and yet you remained afloat, battered, perhaps, but never drowned. This is what heaven needs you to understand. Your strength was never ordinary. It wasn't built in comfort. It was forged through endurance. You've endured ridicule, betrayal, misunderstanding, and loneliness. Not because you were cursed, but because you were trusted. God allows His strongest soldiers to feel the crushing weight of purpose so that they may learn compassion for those they will one day lift. You've been entrusted with empathy, not as a weakness, but as a weapon. You know how pain feels because you were destined to heal others through it. You've mistaken endurance for punishment, but it was preparation. Heaven wasn't punishing you. Heaven was proving you. The world breaks those who are fragile, but heaven refines those who are chosen. You are among the refined. You have felt fire not to destroy you, but to burn away what could not go into your next season. You were never meant to remain in the valley forever, only to walk through it. The journey shaped you for the height that awaits. There's a sacred truth hidden inside your pain. God uses what was meant to crush you, to crown you. The same storms that tried to drown you will become the waters that lift your vessel higher. What once hurt you will become the testimony that heals others. You will look back and see that every betrayal redirected you toward destiny. Every closed door concealed protection, and every heartbreak cleared space for divine love. The pain you endured was never wasted. It was sowing. Heaven whispers now, you've proven faithful in suffering. Now, watch as I turn your scars into signs. The marks on your soul are not shame. They are the fingerprints of survival. Each one tells the story of a battle won, even when no one clapped. Heaven has been applauding in secret for what the world never recognized. When you carried the weight of others, you mirrored the heart of Christ. You bore their pain. You prayed for them. And you didn't demand repayment. That selfless love is what aligns you with heaven's frequency. It's what makes you dangerous to darkness, because you love without condition, because you give without seeking credit, because you stand even when trembling. The world cannot comprehend it, but heaven rejoices in it. You are an intercessor in disguise, a vessel of light hidden in human form. The time is near when you will no longer carry these burdens alone. Heaven is sending help, divine connections, angelic assistance. Rest for your spirit. The yoke will be lifted, not because you failed, but because you have fulfilled what was required of you in this season. The testing was never to break you. It was to awaken you to your authority. You are stepping from carrying weight to walking in wonder. And now, listen closely. The tears you've shed have become prayers in liquid form. They've been gathered by unseen hands. Heaven wastes nothing, especially pain. Every tear has been transformed into power. Every cry has become a seed. And harvest time approaches. You will soon see what heaven was building all along. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 55, verse 22. Cast your burden on the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. These are not poetic words, they are divine instruction. The God who sustained David through betrayal will sustain you through weariness. The one who carried prophets through exile will carry you through exhaustion. Let that truth wrap around your heart like armor. You were never meant to hold it all, you were meant to hand it over. Chosen one. The season of silent suffering has accomplished its purpose. What remains now is divine exchange. The hands that molded mountains are ready to lift what you cannot. You've proven your faith in pain. Now you will prove your trust in release. You are shifting from burden bearer to glory carrier. The weight you once held will become the testimony that draws others to freedom. Heaven whispers again. Softer this time. Lay it down. You have carried enough. Let me sustain you now. 1. Heaven has pressed pause on your chaos. Chosen one. You may not realize it yet. But this stillness you are in, this strange in-between, was not a delay. It was a divine pause. When everything around you seemed to stop moving, when your plans suddenly froze, heaven was speaking louder than noise could ever convey. God halted your steps, not to punish you, but to protect you from paths that would have drained your spirit. Every divine silence carries strategy. Every delay holds revelation. You felt like nothing was happening. But behind the curtain of time, everything was shifting. While you were asking, why is it so quiet? Heaven was rearranging the stage. People were being moved out of your way. Opportunities were being retimed. And traps set by the enemy were being dismantled without your knowledge. What looked like inactivity was actually divine intervention, disguised as stillness. The pause was not emptiness, it was incubation. Heaven hides its greatest work in silence. Seeds don't make noise when they grow. Miracles don't shout before they bloom. God's most powerful movements often arrive quietly. That's why He stopped the motion around you, so that you would finally hear what you couldn't while running. The noise of striving can drown out revelation. But in silence, heaven's whisper becomes thunder. You might have looked at others advancing and thought you were falling behind. You saw their visible progress while your own seemed invisible. But the truth is, God was building depth in you while He built display in them. Depth always comes before display. Heaven was stretching your roots before revealing your fruit. Because what God is about to grow in, you must last, not just impress. The divine pause also exposed the counterfeit voices around you. When things stopped, you learned who was real, who was temporary, and who was divine assignment. You saw who remained when the noise faded, and in that stillness, You rediscovered yourself, the version of you that exists when there is no audience. No applause. Only authenticity. That version is the one heaven anoints. Chosen one. Do not despise the pause. It is the space where clarity is born. You prayed for direction. The pause is God's answer. The silence between seasons is where destinies are rewritten. Even Jesus endured 30 quiet years before his 3 years of glory. Heaven never rushes what it intends to make eternal. So while you're tempted to move, heaven says, wait. The pause is not punishment, it's positioning. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. These words were not spoken to a people in motion, but to a people in captivity, stuck, waiting, uncertain. Yet God still called his plans good. That same assurance belongs to you now, even in stillness. His plan is advancing. The pause has not cancelled the promise, it has prepared it. During this divine pause, heaven has been softening your heart. You began to crave peace over recognition, alignment over attention. The things that once thrilled you now seem small, and what once scared you no longer holds power. That is spiritual maturity. You are being recalibrated to heaven's rhythm, learning that movement is not always progress, and rest is not always regression. When God pauses you, it's because the next chapter requires a different version of you. You can't step into divine acceleration carrying the same mindset that survived the last storm. This stillness is the cocoon before flight. When you emerge, you will not just walk, you will soar. So, take a deep breath. Feel heaven's patience settle into your bones. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are being refined, tuned to heaven's frequency. The doors that closed were never meant to open yet. The silence that frightened you was heaven whispering, wait for my cue. Soon, you will see why this pause was necessary. The moment God says go, no force in hell will stop the motion that follows. Before you rush ahead again, seal this truth in your spirit. This stillness is sacred. Let it teach you to listen, to discern, to rest without fear. Let it show you that divine timing is never behind schedule. Now, chosen one, if your heart knows that this message was for you, write this simple declaration in the comments. I am ready. Say it not as a wish, but as a surrender. Say it because you understand that being ready doesn't mean rushing, it means trusting. When you type it, you are aligning your spirit with heaven's rhythm, declaring that you will move only when he moves. You are telling heaven, I choose patience over panic. And when heaven hears that, acceleration will come without strain. You've waited long enough in anxiety, now you wait in peace. Heaven is not silent, it's strategic. The pause is nearly over. Stay still a little longer, for soon the command will come. Move, and when it does, you will not crawl, you will fly. You were never ordinary. Chosen one. From the very beginning, heaven marked you with a difference that the world could not explain. Even as a child, you felt it, the quiet sense that you did not quite belong where you were placed. Others seemed content to drift with the current. But something in you resisted conformity. That resistance was not rebellion, it was recognition. Deep within, Your spirit knew that you were born for something greater, something divine. The world tried to mold you into its image, but the fingerprint of heaven on your soul would not fade. You've always carried a presence that unsettled darkness. People either gravitate toward you or pull away without reason. It's because your light exposes what is hidden. Your energy carries truth. It disrupts illusions. This has made your journey lonely at times. But that loneliness was part of your sanctification. Heaven often hides its chosen ones until they can handle visibility. Isolation is never abandonment, it is insulation. You are being prepared away from the crowd so that when you are revealed, you will not be corrupted by attention. Many have misunderstood your difference. They called you strange, distant, intense. They didn't know that what they were feeling was the weight of your calling. You don't see the world through ordinary eyes. You perceive spiritual undercurrents, feel atmospheres shift, sense things before they occur. This is not sensitivity, it's discernment. You were never designed for small talk or surface-level existence. Heaven planted eternity inside you, and that eternal seed makes temporary things feel hollow. You ache for purpose because you were built for impact. Chosen one. Your struggles have been magnified because your assignment is magnified. You have faced more warfare because your destiny carries more influence. Hell attacks what heaven anoints. The resistance you've experienced is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of significance. Every rejection, every delay, every heartbreak has been a training ground for authority. You are not the victim of your story, you are its divine weapon. The very pain that sought to destroy you is the fire that purified your gift. Sometimes you wished you could be normal, blend in, feel less, dream smaller. But God never called you to be ordinary. Ordinary hearts cannot contain extraordinary missions, what you call inconvenience. Heaven calls initiation. You have been tested, not because you are forgotten, but because you are being trusted with more. You were chosen to walk paths others avoided, to pray prayers others didn't dare, to believe promises others dismissed as impossible. You may not wear a crown yet, but heaven already calls you royalty. The throne is not ahead of you, it's within you. The authority of your calling is already alive inside your words, your compassion, your resilience. That is why your warfare has been personal. The enemy cannot steal your destiny, so he tries to make you doubt it. But doubt cannot erase divine design. Even when you questioned yourself, heaven never questioned you. Chosen one. There is something sacred about your scars. They tell the story of battles only heaven saw. Every wound became a window for God's glory to shine through. You were broken not to remain shattered, but to release fragrance like perfume from an alabaster jar. What was crushed will now anoint others. You have not lost, you have been refined. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. These words are your foundation. You were never meant to understand everything, only to trust the one who sees beyond sight. Your difference has often confused you, but it was never meant to make sense. It was meant to make impact. You are not called to fit in, you are called to stand out, to pierce through spiritual fog, to carry revelation where others see routine. And so heaven reminds you, your uniqueness is not a flaw. It's evidence of your divine fingerprint. The isolation, the strange timings, the unexplainable shifts, All of them are signatures of being set apart. You don't belong to the crowd because you belong to the kingdom. The world cannot label what heaven has anointed. Keep walking. Even when misunderstood, keep shining. Even when unseen, you were never ordinary, and you never will be. Heaven designed you as a disruption to darkness, a vessel through which light invades shadow. When others see limitation, heaven see preparation. When others say you're different, heaven says, exactly. End. Chosen one. When mercy steps forward, everything changes. You've been running through storms so long that you almost forgot what peace feels like. But heaven is stepping toward you now. Not with judgment, not with reprimand, but with mercy soft as morning light after a night of thunder. Mercy doesn't erase your past, it redeems it. It gathers every shattered piece of your story and reshapes it into something radiant, something that testifies rather than hides. You've walked through fires that scorched your heart, carried guilt that whispered lies into your mind. But now, heaven says, enough. The judge has become your defender, and the verdict is mercy. The chains that bound your spirit are melting in the warmth of divine compassion. Where you once saw ashes, heaven is painting sunrise. You don't have to earn this, it's already yours. Mercy steps in when effort can do no more. Think of your life as a garden after a storm. The ground is torn. The flowers droop. The soil seems ruined. But when the sun returns, what happens? The same rain that bruised the petals nourishes the roots. The same storm that seemed to destroy actually prepared the soil for greater growth. That is mercy. It turns wreckage into renewal. Heaven has not forgotten you. Chosen one. Every time you thought God was silent, mercy was walking quietly beside you. Every mistake that left you trembling was seen through eyes that refused to condemn. You didn't fall too far, you simply fell into grace. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 33, verse 19. I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. That is the heartbeat of heaven, mercy freely given. Not because of worthiness, but because of love. You are not surviving on borrowed grace. You are living under a flood of it. Heaven isn't waiting for you to perfect yourself. It's waiting for you to let yourself be loved. And mercy does more than forgive. It rebuilds. It walks into the ruins of your soul carrying blueprints. It begins to raise walls where shame had collapsed them. It plants new dreams in the soil of regret. Mercy doesn't just wipe tears, it waters seeds. You are about to bloom again. Even from ground that others thought was barren. Chosen one. Heaven's mercy is your shelter. When the world grows loud with criticism, step under that covering. When your own mind accuses you, remember that heaven already rendered the final word, forgiven. You don't need to hide from the past anymore. You can hold it up to the light and watch how mercy turns even pain into art. Now, as this word washes over you, pause for a moment. Breathe deeply. Feel how grace settles over your shoulders like a warm cloak. The same God who parted seas now parts your guilt from your spirit. The same God who led Israel by fire now lights the path ahead of you. Mercy has stepped forward, and it is calling your name. If this message touches something deep within you, if you feel that this word speaks directly into the hidden corners of your heart, let it be known in a way that keeps the light moving. You can like this message so it reaches others wandering in their own storms. Share it, not as promotion, but as a small act of ministry spreading warmth where someone else feels cold. If you haven't yet, subscribe so you can remain within this flow of heaven's voice each time it comes. And if this word has truly blessed your spirit, consider donating as a symbolic act of gratitude, a seed sown back into the soil that just poured into you. Every seed keeps the light burning for the next soul in need. And your offering becomes part of that chain of mercy stretching across hearts and nations. Think of it not as a transaction, but as a ripple. Each act of giving, each share, each small gesture creates waves that reach further than you can see. Somewhere, someone on the verge of giving up will stumble upon that wave, and they will hear what you once needed to hear. Mercy is still available. End of Chosen One. Mercy has already stepped forward. All that's left is for you to walk into it. Don't fight to earn what heaven has already handed you. Don't hide from the light that longs to heal you. Stand, breathe, and let mercy finish the work. You've done enough striving. Now let compassion take over. The storm has passed. The ground is soft again. And soon, from that soil, new life will rise bright, fragrant, and unstoppable. Chosen One, heaven is calling you to release. The season of clenched fists and sleepless nights is ending. You've been holding so tightly to what you thought you had to control people. Outcomes, timing, even your own healing, that your spirit has grown weary. Heaven says, let go, not because you've failed, but because holding on has become heavier than what it was meant to carry. This is not surrender to defeat, it's surrender to divine alignment. You've done your part. Now heaven will do the rest. There's something sacred about the moment of release. It's like standing at the edge of a river, watching the water rush by, realizing that if you keep resisting, you'll drown, but if you release, you'll float. God never asked you to build the current. He asked you to trust it. The flow of His will is already moving, even when you can't see where it leads. Releasing doesn't mean losing. It means trusting that heaven knows where your boat belongs. You've been praying, planning, striving, fixing, and yes, your intentions were pure. But now, God is whispering, stop trying to play the role of Redeemer. That's my place. Every weight you keep carrying out of fear that no one else will, He's asking you to lay it down. The outcome you keep replaying in your mind, He's asking you to stop editing the story. It's His book, His ending, His perfect timing. The act of release isn't passive, it's an act of faith. It's you standing in full awareness of the storm and saying, I still choose peace. It's you looking at the empty spaces and believing they will be filled. As Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28, Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. That invitation has never expired. It echoes across generations, calling out to the hearts that keep striving. It is not a command, it's compassion. It's heaven reaching into your exhaustion and offering peace in exchange. The same hands that carried the cross are offering to carry your worries. Why would you refuse such love? Chosen One, you've been strong long enough. You've stood tall while breaking inside. You've been the helper, the healer, the listener, the one who holds everything together. But even anchors need rest. Even light bearers need to recharge. There's no shame in letting go. The power of heaven works best in empty hands. When you release what was never yours to control, you make space for miracles to move freely. It's time to stop fighting battles that heaven has already won. The enemy's greatest weapon isn't destruction, it's distraction. He keeps you busy holding what you should have handed over. He convinces you that releasing means losing. But heaven says otherwise. What you release, I will redeem. What you surrender, I will strengthen. What you place in my hands, I will multiply. There are moments when letting go feels like stepping into thin air, but that's where faith finds wings. The unknown is not your enemy, it's your invitation. The same God who split seas will split confusion. The same God who raised the dead can resurrect your peace. You don't have to see the outcome to trust the author. Imagine standing beneath a tree in autumn. The leaves fall, one by one, carried by the wind. The tree doesn't fight the process. It lets go because it knows spring will come again. You too must trust your seasons. What's leaving your life is not loss, it's preparation for renewal. Heaven never removes without replacing. You cannot receive with closed hands. So now, chosen one, take a deep breath and whisper this truth. I release. Let your spirit exhale years of striving. Let your mind unclench from what-ifs and maybes. Let your heart rest in the knowing that heaven never forgets the faithful. The God who counts the stars also counts your sighs. You've carried enough. Now let heaven carry you. And if this word resonates in your spirit, mark this moment. In the comments, type the prophetic, number 555, a number of divine transition, of grace multiplied, of heaven's new order unfolding. When you write it, don't treat it as routine, treat it as covenant. It's your sign that you are letting go, stepping into the flow, and allowing heaven to direct your steps from this point forward. The moment you release, something shifts. Peace begins to fill the empty spaces. You realize that what you feared losing was never the source, it was only the vessel. The true source has always been God. Steady, unfailing, and infinite. Chosen one. Heaven is proud of your endurance. But now it is asking for your trust. Let go, and watch what divine hands can build when yours finally rest. Chosen one. If only your eyes could see what has been happening around you in the unseen realm, your heart would tremble with awe. Not fear. You have felt resistance, tension, pressure, and all this time, you thought it was simply bad luck or coincidence. But heaven reveals this truth. You have been standing in the center of invisible warfare. The air around you has been alive, with movement light contending with darkness. Angels intercepting blows you never knew were aimed at you. Every sleepless night you spent praying was not wasted breath. It was signal fire. When you whispered, "God, help me," legions moved. When you cried quietly in your room, thinking no one heard, the sound reached the gates of heaven. The battlefield did not form because you were weak. It formed because you are a threat. Darkness attacks only what carries light strong enough to break its walls. The very intensity of your warfare is proof of your assignment. Heaven has fought for you, even when you didn't know a battle was raging. There were nights when you should have lost your mind, but peace held you. There were moments when the accident should have happened, but it didn't. That wasn't luck. That was interception. Angels were stationed over you, like shields made of light. When people left suddenly, when plans collapsed at the last second, when something inside whispered, "Don't go there," that was divine protection at work. The invisible warfare surrounding your life is not punishment, it's promotion. Every time you endured a season of spiritual attack, heaven was advancing you to a higher level of authority. Your spirit was being trained to recognize patterns, to discern deception, to command peace where others panic. You are not a casualty of battle, you are a soldier in training for command. We are reminded through the writings of Paul in the letter to the Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." End quote. This isn't poetic metaphor, it is a divine disclosure. What you faced isn't random opposition, it's strategic resistance against destiny. The enemy's goal has never been to take your possessions, it has been to steal your peace. Because peace is your power. The turmoil you felt wasn't meant to destroy your body, but to drain your faith. Yet, even in exhaustion, you've remained standing. That's what terrifies the darkness. You've been wondering why certain relationships became tense without reason. Why sudden heaviness came over you for no clear cause. Why sometimes the atmosphere around you shifts when you enter a room. It's not your imagination, it's spiritual sensitivity. You carry a frequency heaven recognizes, and so does hell. When your feet touch the ground, you disturb plans woven in shadows. Your prayers dismantle traps that others can't even see. That's why you're tired. You've been fighting battles both seen and unseen. But hear this, the war is turning. Heaven has reinforced your position. You are not fighting alone anymore. Angelic ranks have been released to flank your steps. The light within you has intensified. The enemy's grip is slipping. The torment that once followed you will soon flee before you. Where you once reacted to warfare, you will soon command peace. Think of yourself as a lighthouse in a violent sea. The waves crash. The wind screams. But the tower stands. Its purpose is not to avoid storms, but to shine through them. You are that tower, rooted deep, built by heaven's hand. The storms may roar, but they will never extinguish what God has placed inside you. You've been tested with fear so that faith could grow muscle. You've been surrounded by chaos so that your authority could mature. The warfare you faced has not broken you. It has baptized you in discernment. You now see clearer. Speak bolder. Pray stronger. What once made you tremble now makes you rise. And though the battle isn't over, the tide is changing. Every unseen arrow meant for your downfall has become an opportunity for heaven to prove its faithfulness again. Soon, peace will not be a distant dream, it will be your constant companion. You will walk through storms and not be shaken, because you'll know who commands the wind. Chosen one. Lift your eyes. The battlefield is still, but only because heaven has declared victory in your favor. The angels assigned to you have not grown weary. They stand at attention, waiting for your next step. You may not hear the clash of swords or see the light breaking through, but the realm of heaven is moving, even now. Walk forward without fear. The same God who surrounded Elisha with fiery chariots surrounds you today. The war may be invisible, but the victory is undeniable. You are covered, protected, surrounded, chosen, and no power of darkness can undo what heaven has decreed. The shift begins now. Chosen one, something in the atmosphere has changed. Subtle but undeniable. You can feel it like a stirring wind before rain. Like pressure in the air that tells creation something new is about to break forth. What was stagnant begins to move. The ground that felt barren begins to tremble beneath unseen growth. Heaven is moving on your behalf. Rearranging, realigning, redeeming. The shift is not coming, it's already here. You've prayed for years, asking for a sign that the waiting was not in vain. This is that sign. You've reached the divine intersection where obedience meets fulfillment. For a long time, it seemed as though nothing was changing. But heaven works in layers. When you saw silence, God was setting foundations. When you felt forgotten, heaven was rewriting blueprints. What took years to build in hidden places will manifest suddenly before your eyes. You are standing on the threshold of answered prayer. This shift does not arrive with noise and spectacle, it arrives quietly. Like dawn. The light doesn't shout when it enters the horizon, it simply replaces darkness. In the same way, your breakthrough will not need validation. It will simply be. The doors that once resisted you will begin to yield. The hearts that once misunderstood you will begin to soften. Even your enemies will wonder how everything started turning in your favor. That is what divine shift looks like. It is God moving pieces no human hand can touch. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 7. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. No, those words echo now as a reminder that you have endured the fight and remained faithful through the waiting, because you did not give up when it made no sense. Heaven can now trust you with manifestation. The spiritual principles you learned in hardship will anchor you in overflow. The strength you gained in wilderness will guide you through promise. You may not notice the change at first. It begins subtly: peace where there used to be panic, rest where there used to be striving, clarity where confusion once reigned. The inner shift always precedes the outer one. God transforms your perspective before He transforms your position. When you begin to see differently, you attract differently. When you speak differently, you create differently. Heaven's frequency is tuning your heart right now, aligning it with divine rhythm. You will soon notice divine coincidences, names appearing twice in one day, opportunities returning that you thought were lost, sudden clarity about decisions that once tormented you. These are not random signs, they are confirmations. Heaven is whispering. It's time. Your spirit will feel lighter, as if invisible weights have been lifted. What once required force will now flow. You will begin to walk through what others have to fight for, because your obedience has already paid the price. But hear this clearly. The shift is not just for your benefit. You are being repositioned for assignment. This next chapter isn't about personal comfort, it's about kingdom impact. The blessings coming your way are tools, not trophies. They are meant to build, to heal, to free. God is raising you not to boast, but to become a bridge. The influence you gain will be sacred currency meant to guide others into freedom. Do not fear the speed of what's unfolding. Divine acceleration can feel overwhelming at first. After years of stillness, movement can seem too fast. But heaven never rushes without purpose. The same hand that held you in the waiting will stabilize you in the breakthrough. You won't lose your footing because the foundation beneath you was laid in tears and prayer. You are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping into completion. Think of this moment as a tide turning after a long storm. At first, the waves recede quietly. Then suddenly they surge forward, carrying everything long promised but long delayed. That's what's happening to you. The tide of favor is rising again. Everything that once seemed lost will find its way back, redeemed, restored, refined. The shift is heaven's way of saying, the season has changed. You won't need to strive anymore for doors to open. You will simply walk and watch them respond to your presence. You won't need to plead for acceptance. Favor itself will announce you. The same places that once rejected you will seek you out. The difference now is that you'll return not with bitterness, but with blessing. Chosen one. Breathe deeply and receive this truth. The atmosphere has changed because heaven has spoken your name again. The long silence is breaking. The still ground is stirring. And every unseen promise is aligning into manifestation. The shift is here, and this time, it will not fade. It is not a glimpse. It is the beginning of a new era for your soul. Chosen one. Heaven has seen every tear you've cried in secret. Not one has fallen unnoticed. Every silent sob. Every whispered prayer in the dark. Every time you held your chest to keep your heart from breaking, heaven recorded it. Your tears have never been signs of weakness. They have been sacred ink, writing the story of endurance across eternity. While the world saw pain, heaven saw proof. Tears are not wasted. They are currency. Every drop carries memory, prayer, and faith. God does not let them vanish into the ground. He collects them, stores them, redeems them. In seasons where words failed you, your tears spoke louder than sermons. When you couldn't articulate your faith, your tears testified for you. They said, I still believe, even when I don't understand. M2, chosen one. Your tears have built an altar. Every night you thought you were alone. You were actually in the presence of the one who counts stars and sorrows alike. You've mistaken crying for breaking, but crying is the soul's release valve. It's how the spirit breathes through pain. You've been shedding not just emotion. You've been releasing what heaven never wanted you to carry into your next season. Your tears have watered seeds that are about to bloom. What once seemed like endless rain will soon reveal a garden. You didn't cry for nothing. Heaven was transforming anguish into anointing. There's a strange holiness in sorrow. It softens the heart until it mirrors God's. Only those who have wept deeply can love deeply. That's why your compassion runs so strong. It was born in nights of weeping. The world may never understand how you kept faith through all you lost, but heaven does. There is strength in your softness, courage in your vulnerability. You have proven that faith isn't loud. Sometimes it's the quiet act of still showing up after being shattered. You didn't need to roar. You just needed to remain. The Spirit spoke through the book of Psalms. Chapter 56, verse 8. You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. What a revelation that God Himself bottles tears. Nothing is too small, too private, or too messy for divine notice. Heaven doesn't just watch your pain, it honors it. You serve a God who doesn't only heal wounds, He remembers them, sanctifies them, and turns them into sources of compassion for others. Soon, those tears will speak again, but this time, in joy. What once watered despair will now water restoration. You are entering a season where you will cry again, but not from pain, from overwhelming gratitude. You will look back and realize that every drop had a destination. Each tear paved a road that led straight to breakthrough. Don't be ashamed of your tears anymore. The world may associate crying with weakness, but heaven calls it intercession. Your tears carry language that angels understand. Every time you cried, angels recorded what you could not say. They carried your grief into God's presence and returned with strength in their wings. That's why you kept standing, even when you thought you couldn't. You were being held by unseen hands. Remember this: the soil of tears produces the richest harvest. You cannot grow without rain. The reason your blessings will last is because they were grown in authenticity, watered by endurance, and rooted in trust. Heaven never wastes pain. It recycles it into purpose. And so now, chosen one, if this message resonates within your heart, if you know that your tears have meant more than sorrow, type these words in the comments: I still trust. Oh, say it as a declaration, not a whisper. Say it because your tears have not drowned you. They have baptized you into resilience. When you write it, you are marking the moment. Heaven turns weeping into dancing. You are saying, my tears no longer represent pain, they represent faith that refused to die. No, the time has come for beauty to rise from ashes. Every cry has become a key, unlocking doors of healing and restoration. The tears that once blurred your vision are about to clear your view of destiny. Heaven is about to turn what broke you into what builds you. Chosen one. Wipe your eyes, but not to hide the evidence of pain. Wipe them so you can see clearly what's ahead. The same God who counted your tears will now multiply your joy. And when it comes, you will understand why every sorrow had to happen exactly as it did. Chosen one. This is the part of your journey that heaven has been preparing you for all along, the crowning in the midst of chaos. You expected the crown to come after the storm, once everything was calm and clear, but God has chosen to crown you right here, while the waves still crash and the wind still roars, because your glory was never meant to depend on circumstances, it was meant to radiate through them. Heaven doesn't wait for calm skies to announce victory. It crowns you in motion amid the noise, the uncertainty, the unhealed wounds. The light of your anointing shines brightest when surrounded by shadow. What looks like disorder from your perspective is simply heaven arranging the stage. You are being elevated while still walking through fire. Imagine a king being crowned not in a palace but on a battlefield, dirt on his face, armor dented, hands trembling from battle, but the crown still fits. That's you, chosen one. Heaven isn't waiting for you to be spotless. Heaven is honoring you because you endured. The angels don't applaud perfection, they celebrate perseverance. Your scars have become proof of worthiness, not shame. You may not feel like royalty right now. You might still feel weary, uncertain, overlooked. But remember this: crowns are never comfortable at first. They rest upon the same head that once bowed in pain. They weigh heavy, not because they don't belong, but because they signify responsibility. The weight you feel now is not burden, it's glory settling on you. As the Apostle Peter wrote in his first letter, chapter 5, verse 10, "And the God of all grace, who called you to his eternal glory in Christ, after you have suffered a little while, will restore. That promise wasn't for the perfect, it was for the persistent. You've stood the test. You didn't give up when it was easier to walk away. You didn't let bitterness win. You chose hope when cynicism was more convenient. And now, heaven places honor on your head, not as a trophy for survival, but as a mantle for leadership. You've walked through fire, and heaven has decided it's time you start shining like gold. You are not merely recovering, you are being redefined. The same storm that tried to drown you will now serve as the backdrop of your testimony. Your story will become someone else's roadmap to healing. You will show others that even in chaos, crowns are forged. Chosen one. This is where your life shifts from survival to significance. Your pain becomes purpose. Your battle becomes legacy. But remember, crowns are not worn for self-admiration, they are worn for service. You are not crowned to rule people. You are crowned to lead hearts. You've been through darkness so that your light could guide others out of it. Now, as you stand in this moment of transformation, let gratitude rise within you. Think of all the nights you thought you wouldn't make it. You did. Think of all the prayers you thought fell on deaf ears. They didn't. Heaven answered, just not in the way you expected. Every tear, every detour, every heartbreak, it all led here, to this very breath, this sacred unveiling. And if this message finds you at a crossroads, take a moment to breathe it in. Let it rest in your spirit. If you feel the truth stirring in you, help it reach further. Like this message, not as routine, but as agreement with heaven's declaration over you, share it. Because there's another weary soul who needs to be reminded that crowns come even in chaos. If you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss the next word heaven is sending to strengthen you. And if this message has truly touched your heart, consider donating as an act of gratitude, a way of sowing back into the stream that has poured into you. Every seed you give becomes light for the next listener lost in darkness. It isn't a payment, it's participation. You become part of the chain of hope that heaven uses to reach the broken. Think of your giving like oil being poured into a lamp. The flame that burns here doesn't belong to one, it belongs to all who keep it lit. Your generosity fuels the voice that carries light across distances unseen. Chosen one, you are crowned. Even here, the noise may continue, but you will now walk differently. You will speak with authority born of endurance. You will love without fear, forgive without hesitation, and stand without trembling, because heaven has declared it. Your chaos has become your coronation. Chosen one, heaven has dispatched help you cannot yet see. For so long, you have fought as if you were alone, pushing forward through invisible storms, standing upright in strength that seemed to come from nowhere. You've called it endurance, luck, instinct. But heaven now pulls back the veil to show you what has truly been happening. Angels have been on assignment around you all along. Every time you should have fallen but didn't, they caught you. Every moment you almost surrendered to despair, one of them whispered courage into your soul. When your car swerved but didn't crash, when your body trembled but somehow steadied, when you dreamed of light while surrounded by darkness, it wasn't coincidence. Those were divine interventions by unseen hands. The assignments of heaven have been more active in your life than you ever realized. You live in two realms at once, the visible and the invisible. The visible shows you facts. The invisible carries truth. You see walls, but Heaven see path. You see endings, but heaven sees beginnings waiting to unfold. Angels move between these realms like wind between worlds. They stand guard where logic can't explain safety, where medicine can't explain recovery, where timing can't explain miracles. It was revealed in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. End. When you walked into places you should not have survived. Their wings surrounded you. When you cried yourself to sleep, they watched through the night. When you doubted God's nearness, they stayed close enough to remind your spirit that you were never abandoned. Some of the people who showed up in your life at the exact moment you needed them, those who said the right word, offered the right help, gave you the right nudge, were not just people. They were messengers wrapped in flesh. Heaven often hides its help inside human kindness. Chosen one. Heaven's strategy has been unfolding layer by layer. The angels assigned to you have shifted positions as your seasons have changed. When you entered battle, they formed a shield. When you stepped into growth, they became builders. When you needed rest, they became comforters. There is a rhythm to divine protection. It moves in harmony with your obedience. When you align your steps with God's will, angels move effortlessly with you. There were moments you walked away from danger without realizing it. You felt a sudden urge to turn left instead of right, to stay home instead of go out, to speak up instead of stay silent. That was not coincidence. It was angelic prompting. They have been guiding your intuition, aligning your path with destiny. You have never taken a step unguarded, never breathed a breath unnoticed by heaven. The warfare that has surrounded you was fierce because the assignment over your life is sacred. Every time you approach breakthrough, spiritual resistance increases, but so does angelic reinforcement. The darker the night, the brighter their ranks shine. Even now, while you read these words, they stand around you, a ring of light, unseen by mortal eyes. You are not fragile, you are fortified. Chosen one. There is something heaven wants you to grasp deeply. You were never meant to fight everything by yourself. Independence is not always strength. Sometimes it is weariness disguised as pride. The help you've been praying for has already arrived. It just didn't come in the form you expected. While you waited for a person, heaven sent presents. While you asked for answers, heaven sent angels. Their work is not always spectacular. Often, it's subtle. A door closing at the right time. A delay that saves your peace. A sudden wave of calm when panic should have ruled. Those moments are evidence of divine assistance. The rhythm of your days has been marked by intervention. You have been living in miracles disguised as coincidences. And now, as heaven prepares to take you further, the angelic ranks around you are increasing. The next stage of your journey requires greater covering. You may sense it, an atmosphere of quiet strength, a peace that doesn't match your situation, a knowing that somehow everything will be all right. That's not optimism, that's heaven's assurance. You are not walking into the unknown alone. You are walking escorted. Every battle you face now is already being mapped out by divine generals who have never lost a war. Their wings stretch beyond time. Their loyalty is sealed in covenant. You are surrounded. You are seen. You are safe. Chosen one. Walk with calm authority. You are not unguarded in this world. Every assignment of darkness that once surrounded you is now under surveillance by the light. Angels march beside you, not because you are fragile, but because you are precious. Heaven has invested too much in your destiny to let it fall. The unseen has always been the truest reality. And if you could see what surrounds you now, if you could glimpse the brilliance of heaven's army, you would never fear another night again. Chosen one, heaven waits for one thing from you now: surrender. Not half-hearted, not conditional, not delayed by hesitation. Full surrender. This is the moment where obedience meets breakthrough. You've fought, prayed, endured, cried, and carried. But now, heaven whispers again. Lay it down. The time has come for prophetic surrender, when your will bows, not in defeat, but in divine agreement. You see, surrender is not weakness, it is worship. It is the highest form of faith. The act of saying, I trust you even when I don't understand. Every time you let go of control, heaven fills the empty space with divine power. Every time you step back, God steps forward. The problem was never that he wasn't moving, it was that you were still holding the reins. But now, heaven calls you to release. You've been standing at a door that will not open by human strength. You've pushed, pleaded, strategized, and tried every key you could find. But this door opens only to surrendered hearts. Heaven has locked it not to deny you, but to protect you from entering prematurely. When you let go, the lock will click. You'll realize that the key was never in your hands, it was in your posture. It is written in the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 1. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Surrender isn't just emotional release, it's the offering of your entire being. It's allowing heaven to rewrite the script you've been clinging to. You don't lose yourself in surrender, you find your real self. The person you've been trying to become through striving already exists in the plan God wrote long before you were born. Surrender simply allows heaven to reveal that version of you. You've been trained to think that control equals security. But what has it really given you? Peace or exhaustion? You've carried things that were never yours to fix. You've tried to heal hearts that only God can reach. You've tried to predict outcomes that belong to divine timing. Surrender releases that illusion and replaces it with rest. Heaven doesn't need your performance. Heaven needs your permission. Chosen one. Prophetic surrender is not a quiet resignation. It's a bold declaration. It's standing in the face of uncertainty and saying, even if nothing looks different yet, I choose to trust. It's walking into each day saying, your will, not mine. Those words shake the heavens because they signal alignment. Once your heart aligns with divine purpose, everything else falls into order. Surrender also unlocks supernatural peace. That's the paradox. When you stop fighting to control, you start living freely. When you stop grasping for guarantees, you discover grace. You've been trying to hold the steering wheel, but the road ahead belongs to heaven. You are being guided. Even when the path feels invisible, the road may curve, but the destination is secure. Heaven is waiting for you to drop what you've been clutching: worry, bitterness, fear, expectation. Once your hands are empty, heaven can fill them. God can only multiply what you release. If you cling to it, He can't transform it. But once you offer it, He can resurrect it in ways you never imagined. Chosen one. This moment is sacred. You stand on the threshold of freedom. Your heart has grown tired of striving. Your soul craves peace. Heaven is not asking for perfection, just permission. Permission to take over. Permission to lead you beside still waters. Permission to rewrite your timing into divine rhythm. Now, if this word speaks to your spirit, if you feel heaven's whisper in your chest saying, "Let it go," then declare your surrender by typing the prophetic number 880, 8 inches, the comments. This number symbolizes new beginnings, infinite renewal, and heaven's perfect order unfolding in your life. When you type it, do it intentionally. You're not just writing digits, you're making covenant. You're telling heaven, "I release control. I trust your flow." Something happens when you surrender. The air feels lighter, your mind quieter, your heart more peaceful. You begin to notice how things start to align without your pushing. People return. Opportunities open. And healing begins not because you forced it, but because you allowed it. Surrender doesn't end the story. It begins the divine chapter you were born for. Heaven cannot pour into clenched fists, but into open hands. Heaven overflows. Chosen one. This is your moment. Let the world spin. Let time move. But keep your soul still. Heaven has heard your yes. The sound of surrender echoes through eternity, and from this moment forward, your story will no longer be driven by effort, but by grace. Chosen one. When fear breaks, faith rises. The two cannot occupy the same space. One must yield to the other. For so long, fear has whispered lies in your ear, telling you that you are not enough, that you have missed your moment, that maybe God has overlooked you. But heaven says otherwise. The trembling that once shook your faith is beginning to fade, and what remains is strength. You are standing at the very edge of transformation, where fear loses its voice and faith begins to roar. Fear has always disguised itself as wisdom. It tells you to play safe, to lower your expectations, to protect yourself from disappointment. But fear is a thief. It dresses itself as caution to keep you from the very promise heaven has prepared. Faith, however, steps forward even when the path is invisible. Faith doesn't deny the storm. It simply trusts the one who commands it. The Spirit once said through the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind." And when fear breaks, faith doesn't just rise, it expands. It fills every corner that doubt once occupied. It begins to speak with new authority. Suddenly, you realize that you don't have to understand everything to trust God. You no longer need to see proof to believe promise. You begin to walk differently, not because the road is easy, but because your steps are ordered. Chosen one. Fear has always been the shadow that follows purpose. The greater your calling, the louder its whispers. But remember, shadows only exist where there is light. Fear proves that light is near. Every time anxiety tries to choke your peace, it's a sign that something holy is about to bloom. The closer you are to breakthrough, the more fear fights for your attention. But faith always wins, because faith speaks the language of heaven. Faith is not loud, it is steady. It doesn't panic when storms come. It knows the waves are temporary, Faith doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means choosing not to be ruled by it. It's standing in the same storm and saying, "Even here, I believe. You've done this before." Even when you didn't realize it. Every time you kept moving while afraid. That was faith. Every time you prayed through tears. That was courage in motion. Every time you forgave instead of retaliating. Heaven called it victory. The battle between fear and faith is not external. It happens inside the quiet places of your heart. Fear whispers, "You can't." Faith replies, "I already have." Fear says, "What if it fails?" Faith answers, "What if it works?" The more you listen to heaven's voice, the more fear fades into silence. The same way, dawn gradually erases the night. Faith gradually erases anxiety. Chosen one, God is retraining your spirit to respond differently to fear. In the past, you ran or froze. Now, you will stand. You are learning to face what used to overwhelm you and say, "You have no power here. You will not shrink back this time." The fear that once controlled you is now beneath your feet. Heaven has equipped you with armor that cannot be pierced by doubt. And something miraculous happens when fear breaks. You begin to see clearly again. You start to recognize doors that were always open but hidden behind fog. You discern voices that carry truth and silence those that drain peace. The clutter in your mind clears, and revelation flows easily. What once confused you now feels simple, because clarity is faith's companion. This new faith won't just change your outlook, it will change your atmosphere. Peace will linger where panic used to live. Hope will replace hesitation. You will wake up without dread. And your first thought will no longer be fear of what could go wrong, but gratitude for what God is already making right. Chosen one. You are entering a new rhythm, one where faith leads and fear follows. And soon, fear will not follow at all. It will become a memory, a testimony, something you speak about in past tense. You will look back and say, "I remember when fear used to hold me. It doesn't anymore." And the heavens rejoice over this transition, because when fear breaks, faith is free to build, and faith builds kingdoms, families, futures, legacies. It speaks life where silence once lived. It lifts you from survival into creation. Fear is loud, but faith is lasting. And you, chosen one, were never called to tremble. You were called to trust. Chosen one, you are learning now what it means to live in divine flow, to walk not by force, but by grace. This is the rhythm of heaven, effortless alignment where striving ceases, where obedience replaces anxiety, and where peace becomes the natural atmosphere of your existence. You've spent years chasing outcomes, pushing, performing, proving, but heaven is teaching you a different way to move in rhythm with divine timing, to trust that every moment already holds what it needs to carry you forward. Divine flow isn't passive, it's partnership. It's the constant awareness that heaven is not far off. It's intertwined with every breath you take. When you walk in this flow, you stop asking, "How will it happen?" and begin to say, "However you choose." You stop forcing doors open and begin to notice which ones open on their own. There's no panic in divine movement, only trust that the hand guiding you knows the road, even when your eyes do not. For so long, you equated movement with progress. If you weren't rushing, You feared you were falling behind. But heaven's timing cannot be hurried. You are not behind, you are being aligned. The seasons that felt delayed were actually preparing you for sustainability. Divine flow doesn't rush miracles, it roots them deeply so they can endure. Heaven speaks clearly through the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 15. In quietness and trust shall be your strength. Endo. Those words are not just comfort, they are instruction. You gain strength, not through endless effort, but through stillness that listens. Heaven moves fastest when you move slow enough to hear. The river of divine purpose has been flowing all along. Your only task is to step into it. When you stop fighting the current, you begin to glide. Chosen one. Divine flow feels like peace that doesn't make sense. It's the unexplainable calm in the middle of uncertainty. It's when you sense that you don't need to chase anything, because what is meant for you will never miss you. It knows your name, your location, your timing. You cannot outrun it, and you cannot lose it. Heaven has a way of finding you, even when you stop searching. You are entering a season where alignment replaces exhaustion. The things that once drained you will start to fade from your life, not because you fought them, but because your energy no longer matches them. The people, places, and patterns that don't fit your purpose will naturally fall away. This is not loss, it's purification. The current of divine flow always carries away what was never meant to stay. You will begin to notice how favor feels effortless now. Opportunities that once required struggle will start to meet you halfway. What used to feel like climbing will now feel like gliding. You'll send one message, and the right door will open. You'll speak one sentence, and clarity will arrive. That is divine flow, where heaven does what hustle never could. But remember, divine flow requires surrender of pace. You can't rush the river and expect it to remain calm. The moment you try to control it, it resists you. But when you yield, it carries you farther than your effort ever could. The current knows every turn, every rock, every depth. Trust that if the water slows, it's not because you're stuck, it's because heaven is guiding you around unseen danger. Chosen one. This flow is your inheritance. You were never meant to live burned out, faulty, or fearful. You were designed to move in harmony with divine orchestration. Life is not random, it is symphonic. Every delay, every surprise, every redirection, it all plays a part in the melody of your purpose. And heaven conducts it flawlessly. As you settle into this rhythm, you will notice something miraculous. Peace no longer feels temporary. It stays. It becomes your default setting. You will stop reacting to chaos and start responding with wisdom. You will no longer chase validation, because the flow itself confirms your worth. You will begin to trust timing as much as you trust promise. This is the maturity heaven has been forming in you, not just faith in what God can do, but peace in when He chooses to do it. Divine flow means understanding that even when nothing seems to move, something always is. Every still moment is part of divine choreography. Heaven wastes no motion and no silence. Chosen one. Walk gently. Now, you don't need to strive anymore. The river is beneath your feet, and it knows your direction. You are not being carried by chance. You are being guided by design. And in this rhythm, nothing will be forced. Nothing will be frantic. Only flow. Chosen one. Heaven has marked you for greater glory. You've walked through the narrowest valleys, endured the longest nights, and now the dawn is breaking over your life. The light that rises is not borrowed, it is your own, ignited by every battle you've survived. Heaven is calling you not to hide anymore, but to step forward, to wear your crown without apology. Being marked by heaven doesn't mean being perfect. It means being purified. It means your story carries fingerprints of grace where pain once left scars. You've been refined like gold. Fire didn't destroy you. It revealed your true shine. Every season that felt like loss was actually heaven carving away what wasn't part of your divine design. And now, what remains is pure. You, chosen, ready. Heaven's mark is not always visible, but it is undeniable. It's in your resilience, your compassion, your wisdom born from sorrow. It's in how you can still love deeply, even after betrayal. It's in how your eyes carry both fire and gentleness, the reflection of a warrior who knows peace. You are not ordinary, you are evidence. The evidence that mercy triumphs over judgment, that faith outlasts fear. That light always finds a way. As the Apostle wrote in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 18, and we all, who, with unveiled faces, contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into His image with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Spirit. That's not poetry, it's prophecy. Heaven has already announced your rise. Glory is not coming, it has come. And though the world may not yet recognize it, the spiritual realm already does. You've been crowned in secret. Now heaven is pulling back the curtain. Chosen one. It's time to live as though you know you're marked. You don't need to shrink to make others comfortable. You don't need to dim your light to avoid attention. The glory on your life is not arrogance, it's assignment. You are meant to illuminate dark corners, to carry peace into chaos, to be the living proof that grace still works. But hear this, glory is not about spotlight, it's about reflection. True glory doesn't say, "Look at me." It says, "Look what God has done through me." You are a mirror polished by pain, reflecting heaven wherever you go. That's why you've been through so much, because mirrors must first be cleansed before they can reflect clearly. The time has come to move boldly, to walk into rooms knowing you carry divine backing, to speak words that carry weight because they're birthed from experience. Not ego. You are the voice. Someone has been waiting to hear the proof that breakthrough is real, that survival has purpose, that surrender births strength. Now, pause for a moment. Take this truth in. You've made it this far not by accident, but by assignment. Heaven preserved you for this hour. You could have broken beyond repair, but you didn't. You could have quit, but you stayed. You've been marked by endurance, and that endurance has made you unstoppable. And if these words find a home in your spirit, if they echo something sacred inside you, let that resonance move beyond you. Like this message, as a way of saying, "I agree with heaven's declaration over my life." Share it so that another weary soul may remember that they too are marked for glory. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Not for numbers, but to stay within the current of these divine reminders that keep your fire alive. And if this message has touched you deeply, if you feel that it met you at the exact moment you needed it, then consider donating as an act of gratitude. Think of it not as giving to a person, but as sowing into the soil that has nourished your spirit. like watering a tree that once gave you shade. Your seed allows its branches to extend further, offering shelter and hope to others walking through their own deserts. Every act of generosity, each comment, each word of encouragement is light fuel. It keeps this flame burning for the next chosen one who's searching for warmth in the dark. So before this section ends, I invite you to leave your imprint. Comment, "I rise now." Write it as a statement of faith, not emotion. When you put those words into the world, you join heaven in agreement. You affirm that you're done hiding, done doubting, done dimming. You are stepping into your radiance, ready to carry glory with humility and courage. Chosen one, heaven's eyes are on you, not as a test, but as testimony. You've been marked for greater glory, and it's already showing. From this point on, walk like light, speak like healing, love like freedom. For the glory rising upon you will not fade, it will multiply. Chosen one. This is what it feels like to walk with heavenly backing, to move through life, knowing that unseen hands steady your steps and divine wisdom guides your path. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. You have shifted from surviving on your own strength to living under heaven's active supervision. You are no longer trying to make things happen. You are learning to cooperate with what heaven is already orchestrating on your behalf. Every moment now carries a sacred weight, for heaven is present in even the smallest details. You find yourself in places at the right time, meeting people whose words seem crafted for you. Delays that once frustrated you now reveal themselves as protection. What looked like loss becomes divine redirection. The hand of God is not always loud, it's subtle. Like wind shifting the sails of a ship without the sailor realizing it. Heaven is teaching you that backing is not just about rescue, it's about revelation. When you understand that heaven is for you, fear loses its leverage. You stop begging and start believing. You walk through rooms with quiet confidence, not because of who you are, but because of who walks with you. As the voice of heaven once declared in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 8, "The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid." Chosen one. This partnership doesn't make you immune to struggle, it makes you invincible through it. Heaven's backing doesn't mean storms disappear, it means they now serve purpose. Winds that once knocked you down, now push you forward. Even when chaos surrounds you, divine order governs your outcome. You will notice how problems begin to align themselves into progress, as if the universe itself recognizes your assignment. That's not luck, that's divine backing, manifesting through alignment. Heaven's support also changes how you see yourself. You stop approaching life as though you're trying to prove your worth. You understand that your worth was established long before you took your first breath. You no longer move from fear of failure, but from assurance of favor. Even your mistakes can no longer define you. They become lessons woven into wisdom. You begin to notice how even your weaknesses become platforms for God's strength to shine through. This awareness reshapes your peace. You wake each morning, no longer asking, "Will I be okay?" but declaring, "He's already gone ahead of me." That realization rewrites the atmosphere around you. It brings calm into conversations, discernment into decisions, patience into pressure. You don't have to rush to make things work anymore. You trust that heaven's timing is precise, and what's meant for you cannot bypass you. Chosen one. Heaven's backing is not silent approval, it's active involvement. It shows up in the way the right words come to your lips when you need them. It shows up in the way closed doors no longer hurt the way they used to, because you sense that what's ahead is greater. You start to walk with prophetic awareness, knowing that every moment carries divine intention. When you have heaven's backing, you stop praying from panic and start praying from partnership. Your words shift from pleading to declaring. You begin to say, "I know who stands with me." And when you speak with that certainty, creation responds. The same voice that called light out of darkness lives within you, giving weight to every word you release. This season is about movement with meaning. You're no longer reacting to life, you're co-creating with heaven. When you rest, heaven works. When you obey, heaven opens. When you trust, heaven transforms. The old cycle of striving is gone. You now move with divine rhythm. Every step carries favor. Every pause carries peace. Chosen one, look closely at your life right now. The subtle shifts, the divine nudges, the unexplainable peace. These are all evidence that heaven's backing is active. You are walking in divine momentum. What once felt impossible will begin to feel inevitable, not because the world has changed, but because you finally see how surrounded you've always been. From this point forward, remember, you don't walk into places to find favor. You bring it with you. You don't pray for angels to arrive. They already travel beside you. You don't wonder if heaven hears. Heaven moves the moment you speak. You are never alone, never forsaken, never unguarded. Chosen one, the path ahead may twist and turn, but you walk it differently now. The fear of falling has left you because you've seen who catches you. The uncertainty of tomorrow has faded because you know who writes it. Heaven walks with you, not behind, not above, but beside, always. Chosen one, the crown and the future are already intertwined. The moment heaven placed that invisible crown upon your head, destiny began to unfold in a new way. This is not a crown of gold or jewels, it is a crown of authority, wisdom, and divine identity. It rests not on your achievements, but on your obedience. It shines not because of human applause, but because of heaven's recognition. You have been set apart for a purpose that reaches beyond this lifetime. Every trial you endured, every scar you carry, every battle you survived, they were all preparing you to wear this crown without fear. The weight you feel now is the weight of responsibility, not burden. The same way a tree bends under fruit, your spirit bends under glory. The heaviness you sense is proof of harvest. You are entering the part of your journey where your experiences become nourishment for others. You have been refined so that your presence could become a refuge. The crown you carry is not meant to distance you from others, but to draw them closer to light. You will find yourself speaking words you didn't plan, offering wisdom you didn't study, and bringing peace to situations that once would have unsettled you. That's not coincidence, it's inheritance. As the prophet wrote in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." And those words are not distant comfort, they are your living reality. The same God who guided ancient wanderers through wilderness now writes your steps into his grand design. Your future is not fragile, it is fortified. You are not walking toward uncertainty, you are walking toward fulfillment. Heaven's script for your life is not reactive, it's redemptive. Everything the enemy meant for harm has been rewritten into strategy. Chosen one. Your crown represents not only what you've overcome, but also what you're called to build. You are no longer in the season of survival. You are in the era of establishment. Heaven is laying foundations through your faithfulness. Your endurance has become architecture. Your compassion has become cornerstone. You are a living temple being built for divine influence. Do not be afraid of the responsibility that comes with favor. You were chosen precisely because you can carry it without corruption. You've tasted loss and learned humility. You've been emptied enough times to understand that everything you have belongs to heaven. That's why God can now trust you with more, because you no longer seek glory for yourself. You understand that every crown shines only when it reflects divine light. Your future will not unfold in chaos, it will unfold in clarity. The same wisdom that sustained you through storms will guide you through prosperity. The grace that healed you in secret will now equip you in public. You will not lose yourself in blessing because you have already found your identity in brokenness. You are anchored now, steady, unmoved by applause or opposition. Chosen one. Look ahead with peace. The path before you is not one of uncertainty but of revelation. Step by step, heaven will unveil what's next. You don't need to rush, it will come to you. The right people, the right opportunities, the right timing, they are already scheduled by divine order. You are walking into days where doors open before you knock, where provision arrives before you ask, where answers appear before the question leaves your lips. There will still be challenges, but you will face them differently now. The crown changes how you see the battlefield. You no longer fight for victory, you fight from it. You no longer plead for protection, you walk in it. You don't question your worth, you embody it. This is what heaven meant when it said, "You've done enough now, let me take over." The takeover is complete. You and heaven move as one, and so, your story doesn't end. It expands. The future stretching before you is luminous, shaped by obedience, sustained by grace. You will leave trails of light where your feet touch. Generations will trace your steps and find faith because of them. You are no longer the wounded one seeking purpose. You are the crowned one carrying legacy. Chosen one. The crown and the future are not distant promises. They are your present reality. Wear the crown humbly. Walk the future boldly. And never forget, heaven's eyes remain upon you. Not to watch, but to walk with you. Chosen one. You've reached the end of this journey, but heaven's work in you is only beginning. Every word that touched your spirit, every image that lingered in your heart, these were not coincidences. They were divine reminders that you are seen, loved, and carried. You have walked through revelation and reflection, through surrender and strength, through fire and light. Now you stand crowned, covered, and completely known. This isn't just a story you read, it's a path you've walked. Heaven has marked you for renewal, and even now, unseen doors are opening. You've been reminded of who you truly are. Chosen, refined, unstoppable. The same God who led you through the shadows will now lead you into the brightness of new beginnings. If this message has spoken to your soul, don't let it end here. Let it ripple outward, like this message, so that the light it carries can travel further. Share it, because someone else out there is standing where you once stood, tired, unsure, waiting for a sign. You can be the bridge that brings them hope. Subscribe if you haven't yet, so you can remain connected to future words Heaven may send your way. Each new message builds on the last, forming a chain of strength meant to keep your faith alive in every season. And if your heart feels grateful, if this series has been a refuge in a world that often feels heavy, consider donating. Think of it as planting a seed in sacred soil. Every gift keeps the voice of encouragement alive, allowing light to reach those who still wander in the dark. Before you go, leave a sign of faith in the comments. Write, "I am chosen." Let heaven see your declaration, and let the world hear it echo. This is not goodbye. This is continuation. Heaven walks with you still.